How's it going, everybody? Welcome to our evening show. We had a little bit of time off last week due to Thanksgiving. I had family in town, so I didn't spend a lot of time on here. I didn't spend a lot of time trading or doing anything else. So we're coming back this week, and I wanted to talk about becoming a full-time trader. And I thought it's a natural segue to just jump into being a full-time trader and the steps I took to become one and how I handle it mentally and how I handle losses and red days and green days and how I could deal with the swings emotionally of becoming a trader and doing that full time and what I needed to do for myself. And before I get started, I'd like to say that I'm not offering you investment advice, stock choices, anything like that. This is just for entertainment purposes only, and anything that I say here should be taken that way. And also, if I talk about finances or anything, it's just my opinion. It doesn't mean anything. Go talk to a CPA, go talk to an accountant, hire yourself a tax accountant, and all that kind of stuff. I don't know what I'm talking about. So go talk to somebody who does. This is just my opinions, and this is just from my experience what I chose to do. So that being said and out of the way, and I also want to say really quick about what I'm going to be doing on the channel going forward, both on the nighttime shows and the daytime stuff. I'm going to be doing a strategy video or two, detailing how I have adapted strategies that we use and how I use them, how I trade. I'm going to be breaking down the rules and stuff, and I'll be posting a video on here with those for people to watch that are new to the Discord or that just want to know what I think and how I trade. So I'll be posting those, and I may even do some of them live, so you actually watch me trade them, and I'll take cuts and stuff. And that's what I've been doing, is saving different cuts of my trades, and I'll put them together to do some video tutorials for different strategies that we use in here just to help people out. I'm not in a huge rush to do stuff in here, and a lot of stuff is slow as far as my uploads and stuff. I'm in the middle of moving, in the middle of the Christmas season. I've got twins. I have a lot going on. So I'm a lot of the stuff I'm going to be doing over the next 6 months, some sooner, some later, but I'm going to be building kind of, the channel and stuff like that over the next 6 months or so, as opposed to just trying to rush and get everything out now. It just has to do with my time and everything else. I have limited time, as we all do. So that being said, I'll also be doing nightly reviews on the shows of trades I make during the day sometimes. It's not all going to be just psychology, but there'll be psychology kind of mixed in with reviews of my trades and why I took things and why I didn't, and winning and losing trades, winning and losing days. So we'll be doing some breakdowns of those in the future too, just so you know what's heading your way as far as this this particular channel goes. That being said, let's get into my thoughts on becoming a full-time trader. And this comes after the video where we talked about small accounts and building your small account. So if you haven't seen that, go watch it. But let's start off by saying, after that mindset, after you've traded smart for a little bit, you've got some money in the bank. You've got, let's say that you traded up, you hit your 6 figures or whatever it is, and you're like, okay, I think I can do this full time. I know I can do this full time. And you are trying to convince your significant other, or you're trying to convince somebody that that's what you need to do, that you want to do this, or you're trying to convince yourself, or you're just wondering, how do I become a full-time trader? What do I want to do? I know I can just do this and make money, but I'm not sure if I can handle the losses, the wins. I'm not sure. And you just have a lot of questions and you're not sure. Here are some things, 3 things I can think of off the top of my head. Maybe there'll be more, maybe there'll be less. But first, and I'm going to use fake numbers, but I'm going to, the idea is what I want you to focus on, not the numbers I'm making up. So let's say you've been trading here. Let's say it's 1 year. Let's say it's 2 years. And you make $50,000 a year at your normal job. Just, again, fake numbers. You make $50,000 a year. Your wife or your husband, your spouse makes money. So they're also making money. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But you're making $50,000 a year. And doing your trading, you made, I don't know, $100,000. So let's say your trading account over the course of everything is about $150,000. You have a decent amount more than you have a decent amount in your account now. And after taxes and everything at the end of the year, you're at $100,000. So you make $50,000 a year. At the end of your trading, after taxes, after you enjoyed some stuff, spent some money or whatever, you have $100,000 in your account. Okay. What I did and what I chose to do at that point was take more than my annual salary out and at my old job, and to set that aside. So let's say I made 50,000, maybe I took 70,000 out or 100,000 out, whatever number is right for you and what you think you need to do to pay your bills. And I took that out of my trading account after talking to an accountant and a tax person and these other people, and I put all that into a separate account. I trade out of an LLC for tax purposes and other reasons. So I have an LLC bank account with a separate bank. I took and I set up payroll, so it would be so money would be moved, and you could do it manually. I just did it through a payroll company, where money would be moved from my business account to my personal account at the end of every month. So when I was done trading, no matter what happened every single month, I had a year's worth of salary saved up. I had that much money set aside from a year from when I started trading full time and quit my job to when, so that no matter if I lost or won, and let's say you did that, you had 100,000 left in your account, you took $50,000 out just to match what you made that year, and you're like, I need to keep making this. I took 50,000 out, I put it in my other bank account, so I wouldn't touch it. It was just there, and I mean technically I could get to it if I needed to, but it just wasn't there, and I viewed it that way. And then I transferred or had somebody else transfer the money into my account every month. So it looked like I still got the exact same paycheck, or actually a little bit more than I was getting before. So I wasn't coming in to every single day and every single trade like, oh my goodness, oh my word, what's going to happen if, I lose today, or I have a really bad month and I'm down and I can't afford to take $5,000, $10,000 out of my account, because that could put me, it could mess with me mentally. It could put me near PDT. Then I couldn't afford to lose another trade, and then I might not be able to get back up. And all the things that can go through your head that you're going to be scared about. Not only that, but having that amount of money set aside allowed my wife to have a level of confidence, a level of she wasn't scared either. She was some. She was definitely nervous, but it removed some of that fear and some of that I'm not sure about this, because she got to see that that level of money was set aside in a separate account that I wasn't able to trade with, that I wasn't able to mess with, and it was there for us. And we were going to be getting that paycheck. For me, I quit my job in February, so end of February. So from March to March, we had this amount of money set aside for the sake of the story, $50,000. And I was going to be getting that same paycheck, and I had another $50,000 or whatever it is in the trading account to then continue to trade out of. So for the next year, technically, I did not have to make any money. I could not work for a month, and it was okay. I could do whatever I wanted in a sense, and it was okay. I could trade and make money. I could trade and not make money. I could do whatever it was I needed to do mentally to be able to win. Let's say you had a down day and you were down 10 grand, or you had your first big losing day at the end of the month, or you just had a really tough mentally week, or you had your first red week as a full-time trader, first red month as a full-time trader. You're going to be really distraught and really worried and really concerned. The thing that allows me now to get over that quicker and easier is the money in my trading account is almost monopoly money, in the sense of it doesn't exist in my day-to-day life. I don't spend it. I don't use it. It's my business. It's how I make my money, but it's not how I'm making my money so I can live better now, so I can make a ton of money now and live it lavishly and buy all this stuff. I budgeted at the beginning of the year, which I'll do at the beginning of next year, for how much I needed, how much we needed to set aside, what we wanted to put in different savings accounts or health savings accounts and all this other stuff. And then I took the rest of the stuff, and that's what I'm trading with. So then I have a full year. We talked about strategic view in the past. I had a full year to be strategic, as it were, in my trading. And I don't have to make all the money right now. I don't have to be a millionaire right now. I don't have to make $500,000, $250,000, whatever it is right now. I don't have any specific numbers I have to meet, because my bills are already paid for the next year, barring anything crazy happening. My wife works right now, so we still have that dual income. So my normal bank account has not changed. And I can't tell you how much of a blessing and how much of a help that was. And it was actually kind of my wife's idea. I doubt I would have done it, so props to her, because she was like, this is what I need for you to do this. She gave me a number I had to meet. I met it as far as making it in the account, and then she wanted to see a certain amount set aside. So we had more than a year's worth of, bills and living expenses paid out, more than my last salary. So now we had that coming in. And we had the ability to have that. So wow, and so my trading doesn't matter. In a sense, if I fail in 6 months to trade, and let's say I blew out my account, went to zero. Obviously, I didn't. I'm still here, or 20,000 or whatever. It'd be like, okay, you know what? You need to go get a job, and you still have, if you did it after 6 months, you still have 6 months of living expenses set aside. So you have that ability to take care of yourself and to relieve that mental pressure and that mental worry. That is the number one bit of advice I can give you if you're looking at going to being a full-time trader, to quitting your job, is to I'm a big debt-free person. That's kind of how I like to do stuff. We don't have any debt other than this house. If I wasn't buying a new house, I'd pay this one off. Doesn't matter. Either way, I'm a big debt-free person. That's what because of peace of mind as a trader. I think I understand leveraging debt, all this other stuff. But here, for me, at the level I'm at and the time I'm at in my life, to be 29 and debt free as I hope to be next year, or very close to it, doing this job is extremely freeing. It's extremely freeing. And so my goal is to get to that point. My wife's goal is to get to that point, because that gives us peace of mind. That allows you to trade better. That allows you to take losses, and even though your account is taking a loss, you don't have to have that I'm not going to be able to feed my family next month fear hitting you across the head every day. You don't have to have that what if this, what if that. That in a sense you're taken care of, and everything else you're making for next year and for the year after that, and so on and so forth. So that gives you that greater opportunity, and that gives you that ability to have that mental rest. And like, well, how can you handle a down day when you're losing? How can you, or when you're how can you handle big red months, or how can you handle this? Well, I mean, if I was, seriously about to get wrecked, it would bother me, and it could really bother me. And I know it would. But having that set aside and taking my money that way is really what set me up for success. Is really what, as going into this as a full-time day trader, it allowed me that cushion mentally to be able to trade and to not feel that I had to make all of my money, and pay all of my bills right away. That I could sit back and then I could just do what I was doing before, trade intelligently, and make money. So if there are I'll see if there are questions on that. Feel free to type them. But that's the number one thing I could recommend you doing, and I would recommend anybody doing. Obviously, I'm not telling you what to do, but that's what I would say if I was giving myself advice. Hey, do that. Lock in that safety, that peace of mind. Put that aside, and make sure that you have that ability to where when the hard months, and they're going to come, and the hard days come, and they're going to come, that you are taken care of, that you're not going to be like, crap, I can't pay that. You can always sit back, and the way you can recover from those losses is like, hey, I have the next 6 months. I just need to trade smart. I have the next 8 months. I have whatever. I just need to keep trading intelligently and do what I know I can do, and it's going to be okay. This is just a setback. So it's not setting you back entirely on your whole account. Thing number two. The number two thing that I found helped me as a full-time trader, and it kind of goes along with the debt, paying off your debt thing, but it's enjoying your job and enjoying the life that it gives you. If you're a full-time trader and you this is my opinion and this is from my mindset. There are people that are different, and there are people that do things differently, and I'm not knocking you, I'm not disagreeing with you, whatever it is. This is for me. So for me, being able to enjoy not trading has been incredibly helpful. Being able to trade a little bit and get off and go do other stuff throughout the day, like golfing in the middle of the week, like hunting, like whatever your hobbies, jiu-jitsu are, volleyball, you see my shirt, volleyball, whatever it is, being able to do those things and live your life, spend time with your family. Like, I've got twins, young boys. I get to stay home with them. I get to stop in the middle of the day and play with them. And if they're crying, like they're sick right now, I can go take care of them. I don't have to drop them off somewhere else. enjoying the things outside of trading, and sometimes just waking up and being like, hey, I don't care what happens. First 30 minutes of the day, hour, I'm going to work and then I'm logging off. I'm going to go do something else. Getting to the point, and it's not going to happen right away, I don't think, for you, but getting to the point where that is how you look at this, especially as a scalper. Remember, I'm a scalper. This is a scalping room. You know, we scalp momentum. And to be able to look at a day sometimes and just be like, this ain't it today. This is choppy. This is crap. I could sit here if I got nothing else going on. I'm out today, and go do something else. You know, one thing that lets you doing that, having that money set aside. I don't really have to make money today. I can make money tomorrow. I can make money next week. It's all good. I'm going to go do something else. I'm going to go relax, trade for 30 minutes. I'm going to go do this. When you put yourself under the pressure of having to make money, it makes that stuff a lot harder. When you're able to do that and figure out how you can do it to where you can enjoy things outside of trading as a full-time trader, that's going to allow you to make that transition, and make that transition easier, and make that transition actually hold up and not fail. Because when trading, when you do it as a full-time job, it can consume you. It can consume your life. It can consume every minute of your day. It can consume your off hours. It can consume everything you do. It can take you mentally away from your wife to where you're not enjoying being around her or your kids or your family, and you're just mad and you're thinking about the market and the stupid trades and how much you could be up on the year if you weren't winning, and all this other crazy stuff that's racking your mind and that's racking your brain because you're still sucked into it, and you're not able to detach, and you're not able to relax, and you're not able to just be, as it were, because you have all these stressors that you've put on yourself or that are on yourself. And so work on training the mindset, and it's different for each person how you get there, but that you just love trading, and sometimes you love doing it all day because you're just having fun and you're enjoying it, and other days it's not as fun and you want to go do something else or whatever it is, and you're just going to have a good time and you're going to trade. You're going to make good trades. You know, I'm just going to make some good trades today, and, you know, I'm probably going to be green if I make some good trades, and then I'm going to bounce out of here. Or I'm not going to trade today. I'm going to go have fun. It's weird to say, but this is the one job, in my opinion, that the more time you put into it does not necessarily equal more money. Sometimes, in some ways, it does, and especially as a young trader, it does, because you want to learn, you want to study, you want to take the time to do that. Obviously, you are taking the time to do that. So early on, there's that little bit of that curve to where you do need that more time spent. But as you get going, you're going to spend more time, like even trading in a day. Most of my profits are made most days, percentage-wise, in the first hour. Now, I might make more going throughout the hour, but let's say hypothetically I made $1,000 or $5,000 in an hour. Okay, let's say I made $1,000 in an hour, and then I made $500 the rest of the day. Break that down hourly. The first hour I made $1,000 an hour. Break that down to what that equals. And the rest of the day I made what? You know, $500. Break that down. So I lost money an hour. I paid myself less an hour for working more of the day. So I begin to change my mindset to like, hey, I worked an hour, I made this amount. More is probably not going to equal more unless it's just a good market, things are working, things are hot, and you usually know that pretty early, and then you just bounce. And so being able to take that mindset to the market has allowed me to enjoy trading, enjoy last week stepping away for Thanksgiving and spending time with family and watching movies and, you know, at night, and not consumed with the market and not consumed with these different things, going hunting every morning last week, I think, most of them anyway. Not trading if, you know, I'm sick and I'm not feeling good, or my kids are kept me up all night and different stuff like that. Like, hey, I just don't feel it today. I can't do much. And unless something's like perfect, you know, I'm not going to trade. And being able to do that and enjoy the things outside of trading is what's going to allow you to sustain this lifestyle, because you'll get burnout really quick, and you might think that having more money is going to fix your problems, that doing trading is going to, like, I'm a trader and I make all this and I made, you know, all this. I could post on Instagram and on Facebook and I can blah, 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 whatever it is, brag and show these numbers, and I can buy fancy things and all this, which isn't necessarily bad, but you're not going to get real long-term joy. You're just going to get the stress of keeping up with the Joneses, of trying to make more than somebody else, of trying to do more, of always trying to have that. And so steer clear of that and try to enjoy the life that this can give you, the things outside of trading. And and try to enjoy those things. Try to get to the point to where you can do that, to where you can have fun doing that. Let's see. Questions about that so far? I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I don't know that there's something that's a question there. But those are the two biggest things. And I'm going to sit and think for a second. I see a few people typing. But I'm going to sit and think. And I had another one, something else, and I should really write down the things I'm thinking about before I start the show. It would probably help. It would help me remember anyway. But those two things, having that strategic long-term view, enjoying that little bit of life, taking the small gains and losses. What experiences taught me that? The experiences that taught me that were losing, was being toxic when I wasn't trading, was even on green days wanting more. Like if I had a $10,000 green day, not being happy with 1,000, 2,000, just honestly looking at myself and thinking about, stopping and just thinking through why I do this and why I want to do this and where I could be 5 years from now, 10 years from now, where I want to be, not just as a trader, but as a husband, as a family man, as other stuff in my life. And how can I not get, how being consumed with this, how can it hurt me? How can it not help me? So just going through that, also being able to take losses, being able to learn to take losses. And after you lose a couple of times, you're sitting there and you're like, man, and it just wrecks you mentally. How do you get past that? How do you get over that? And I was just sat and thought about it some, and I experienced it. And I was like, these are the times when I've been happier with losses. These things help me like deal with these things easier and get through the hard times of trading. So it's like you take a 30, 40, I said in the chat once I took like a 40 plus $1,000 loss. And it's true. I've done that before, and I'm fine. It didn't wreck me. I made back from there. But being able to do that wasn't a fun day. But I was like, you know what? I never want to have this happen again. What are things I can change? Like, what am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? And when I've enjoyed trading the best, and I've been trading the best in my career the last couple months. And the reason I've been doing that, granted my career hasn't been super long, but the reason I've been doing that is because I have kind of learned to just accept the market on bad days. Like today, it was like, it wasn't bad, but it was choppy. It wasn't great. It was just choppy action all day. And I was like, it's all good. I'm not worried about it. And I could let it go easier. And making those changes to my personal life and allowing myself to get that enjoyment out of everything I do has helped me do that. So yeah, no FOMO. That's honestly, it's the experience of losing trades, the experience of just my wife talking to her telling me how I am, my mental experience knowing at the end of the day when I'm not happy, no matter how the day went and stuff like that. Like I don't want to be mad at the end of my job, So I got a question. For those that may not have the concrete financial backup, would you recommend that they don't use their money to trade? I don't know. Well, if you don't have the money, I'm not telling you what to do or not to do. I mean, I didn't have the financial backup when I started trading on the side. I had it when I quit my job to be a day trader. I had built that safety net. I wouldn't recommend anybody do anything. I would know your risk reward, and if you're going to get into investing, know that you could lose 100% of it. If you put $5,000 in here and you start trading and you start doing strategies, know that you can lose $5,000. Are you okay with that? If losing $5,000 is going to put you out of your house, is going to get you divorced, is going to whatever it is going to completely wreck your kids' future or your future or make you homeless, then you probably shouldn't do it. If you have the funds to trade and you can set that money aside and you can make those trades and you can handle losing it, I don't think you would lose all of it, but let's say you did. I think you kind of have to have the idea with that money going in that there's a good chance I could lose everything here. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm not going to try to. I'm not going to gamble it. I'm not going to risk it like I want to lose that, but I'm going to trade, and if I lose that, then I lose that. And that will kind of give you that peace of mind, I think, somewhat with that money. So for me, that, if you're not willing to lose it, don't trade it, especially over time, because it can definitely go away. And I think the third or another thing I was thinking about was have, and I think Rose said this at another meeting or at another chat at the end of the day when we talk around here. She mentioned something about having an accountability partner, whether it be a spouse, whether it be people in this room, whether it be a friend. And this chat room, because we're all traders, works well, and where you can tell people, I had a hard day. You know, I'm not trading well. I lost money. Hey, I gained money. You know, this happened, and not in a bragging way, but in a way that where it's someone you can talk to that you trust, that isn't going to make you feel like crap, that isn't going to put you down, that isn't going to hurt you, and that you can have that confidence in, to talk about it, to talk about your trading, to talk about your wins, to talk about your losses. The reason being is that we can lie to ourselves, and we can take longer than we need to correct and to detach from our trading. And it's that case in real life too. You can get really far down at rock bottom before you ask for help. And if you have a regular friend or wife or somebody else, maybe it shouldn't be your husband or wife, you know, maybe it should be a friend or a trader, but to where you're honestly talking to people and they can hold you accountable and you can hold them accountable, then to their wins and their losses and what they were doing right and wrong, and you can kind of chat about that. It'll let you blow off steam. It'll help you relax. It'll help you not bend into trades and have these massive losing days. You still might have them, but it'll have those it can have those positive effects on you. Don't go at it alone, I guess, would be the third thing for new traders. Don't go at it alone. There are people out there, especially in this room, especially out you know, in your life, hopefully for you, that care about you, that love you, and that want you to succeed, hopefully. And if not, you need to find some new friends in life that want you to succeed. But and they're going to do, hopefully they'll do everything they can, and they'll be able to listen to you, you know, especially if it's another trader. They'll understand the hard, you know, nature of it. So find somebody who you can be accountable to. Find somebody you can talk to, who you can be open with and honest with, that you can say that you had a losing day, that you had a losing week, that you had a losing month, that you need to change. Because if you're open about that, they're going to help you address the issue before it becomes so bad that you are near the bottom of your account. And if you don't change, you're going to lose your ability to trade. Because for some people, that's as low as you have to get before you realize, like, I screwed up. You know, you might have to lose 6 figures before you realize that you screwed up. Do you really want to get to that point? Or do you want to have people around you that talk to you, that see you, that can be like, hey, you know, hey, dude, this got to change. It's got to do this. Hey, man, I'm messing up. I keep messing up. What am I doing wrong? And they can talk to you. And that's going to be another big thing that you can do. And I think a very important thing for going full time as a trader, that you need to have in your life, is that group of people. We're not in it alone. We're not trading alone. You know, we're a family here, and we help each other. We help each other get better. We help each other rotate. We help each other adapt. So if you want to be able to do that yourself, you should have those people in your life that care for you and that you know care for you, not just your money or not just, you know, your good looks or whatever it is, but that actually want you to succeed and they want the best for you. So talk to those people, have them around, and be honest with them. Don't lie to them. Don't lie to yourself about what you're doing right or wrong, so you can adapt and change quicker, as opposed to getting that tunnel vision and getting sucked in, because we do OODA loop in our daily routine too, in our day-to-day, not just our minute-to-minute. And the quicker you realize what you're doing wrong in a market and what you need to change, and the quicker somebody can hold you accountable, you're going to be able to change quicker. And even though it's annoying and sometimes embarrassing, and you definitely got to put that ego in check, that ego is going to punch you in the face. You got to put that ego in check, and actually tell people that you're losing or you're having a hard time, and hey, I need to shift, I need to change, and then make those changes. If you don't do that, if you have that in your life and you do that, it can save you from blowing up. It can really save you from blowing up your account and having to come back from really low or zero. You don't want to get into a... Hang on, give me 1 second. Do you got him? My wife just came back, so she has him. One of the boys are crying. So, let's see. Jess is asking, do I reset? Oh, I do remember the fourth thing and the third thing. So I'll answer Jess's question, and then I will jump back to the final thing. Do you reset your account balance a fixed amount at the start of the week or month, or do you just keep the gains in your account? So I, most of the time, keep the gains in my account until a certain point, and that's usually when I bring them out. So let's say hypothetical numbers, because we talked about that 50,000 and that 50,000, $100,000 number at the end of the at the beginning of the video. Let's say we take that number and we, every time we hit 50,000 in gains, I just take it out and I get my account back. I transfer it into my business banking account, and it's there, and then it's there, and I can do whatever, and I just trade again with my 50,000, and then I just again try to make that 50 grand back. And that gives you even more cushion, because you know, hey, I got to 50 before, I get back up there, I take it, put it back in, my account goes back to 50 grand instead of 100 grand, and that's okay. And then I can build it back up to 100 grand. And then I'll just do that again, and then I'll just do that again. And that builds up that safety net. Not only that, but it makes it to where you're never chasing your account high. So that can be kind of a danger if you make a lot, is you're trying to get above that number and you have this mental number in your head that you're trying to hit and all that. You can correct that and you can fix that by doing that. So yes, I do that sometimes, and I do move it down. It's not every week or every month. It'd be more around a dollar figure type thing. You could do it at the end of the month. You could do it at the end of the week. That's a decision you need to make for yourself, for what you need and what works for you. And I think part of that can go into the next thing, which is the final thing I'll talk about tonight, and it'll be really quick, is, you know, the boy is still crying. He's very sick. The final thing I talk about would be, it's hard to, paying yourself some and rewarding yourself throughout the year. So let's say you did make that extra 50 or something, and maybe you have the ability to pay off a truck, you know, get out of debt, or maybe you have the ability to buy your wife something really nice, or pay your house off, or get new something or another, you know, something different. Reward yourself throughout the year if you're being successful. Don't keep all the money in there and try to force your account to go higher and grow your account and like numerically and do all these different things. Instead, reward yourself and take rewards throughout the year. Take advantage of the trading lifestyle, in the sense of, it doesn't hurt to have your personal bank account a little bit higher, especially, you know, let's say you're only making 50,000 before, and you get a $25,000 deposit in your account that your wife and you can go on a vacation, you can have this extra money, more cushion. You don't have to keep it in there and chase account highs. Enjoy the money. Take the money out. Spend the money on something that's important. I'm not saying waste it. You know, do whatever you do with it. But don't just keep it all in your savings account. Don't just keep it all in that trading account. And now it's at $1 million. Who cares? You know, don't, in my opinion, that's what I would tell myself, is to not chase those highs. Is once you get to that level, or once you're making a little bit and you've made a significant amount, take some out and put it out and use it and get something nice. Reward yourself so you get that gratification in your life of being a good trader. Of like, hey, I bought a new set of golf clubs. I bought this, I bought that, or I did it. Yeah, I took some money out and I spent it. And you get to see in real time the benefit of being a trader. Something for your family, you know, whatever it is, helping a friend, helping a family member, give to charity. Take $5,000 out and give it to your church. It makes you feel, you know, it doesn't just make you feel good, but it's something that will actually benefit you and that will actually benefit other people. Take money out and spend it. Take money out and use it when you've built up that safety net. So thanks for asking that, Jess, because that kind of gives me that reminded me of the other thing I wanted to talk about, which was for the new traders or for the people that are going full time, is when you're being successful and you have a successful month. Let's say you have your first 6-figure month and you're like, oh, this is, you know, whatever. Don't come back and instead of just trying to smack it, maybe you take half that money out, put it in an account. You know, you set stuff aside, and then maybe you take some of it and you put it in your own pocket, and you go and you actually spend it. So now your account looks lower, but it's not. You just took the money out, and you just train yourself to just train intelligently, not chase the money, and then enjoy some of that money that you actually had and that you actually worked really hard for, that you fought the mental demons throughout the year for, that you made that money for, and now you actually get to enjoy it by giving to charity, by giving to yourself, you know, whatever it is. So those are what ended up being 4 points I have for transitioning, or the first ones I can think of anyway, to transitioning as a full-time trader, and the things that allowed me, and that I think I've grown into, and that I've learned after the fact, that have allowed me to become a full-time trader and have helped me continue to be a full-time trader, and things that I'll be implementing better and more in my future to become a full-time trader and to continue being a trader. These are principles I live by. These are things that I do, and they're things that I'm going to continue to do and hopefully do better. And the reason I put enjoy the money last is I think the other things are more important, especially the financial stability. But after that part comes, definitely try to enjoy the money. So that's what I have. If there are no questions, I'll look if there are no questions really quick, give people a chance, or any comments on it. It's not really a question per se thing, but those are my thoughts for the show tonight. Those are my opinions on becoming a full-time trader, and the 4 things, in my opinion, you should really focus on and push in your head. And there are questions about spouses and other things like that you need to know the person you're with and talk to them. I'm glad, Captain, you'll be able to do that. That's legit. That's awesome. That's the goal. So to be able to quit your job and to do this. So keeping those. So those are the big things, at least for this video. I'll keep this one shorter. Oh, we can discuss. Hang on, let me listen. Just listening to see if my boy's still hollering or I need to go help. He does seem to have stopped for now. Today's choppiness is just a choppy day. There are different reasons. What do you want to discuss about it? The big thing you should have known from today, and this is for anybody who is here, is wake up, you start trading, and you knew it was choppy early. You know how we knew it was choppy early? 1 minute breakouts weren't working in Tesla. 1 minute, and the Qs went down. So if I'm looking at this chart here, and I can just use Tesla as an example. There are other names. With the 1 minute, and y'all heard me, like 1 minute breakouts were failing. Like you had 1 minute breakouts that were failing. It was going up, it was going down, and it was kind of in here. I think it started sucking, and I was like failed, went up and almost went through, and then didn't. Went through here, little failed 1 minute breakout. This was probably choppy, and it was just garbage for most of the day. So really quick, when stuff is choppy, and if you want to discuss why, I could give you a million reasons. I don't think it matters. The fact is that you identify that it's choppy. You don't really trade or overtrade until you find something that's working. So you trade small, or you check charts. So for instance, in Tesla, a lot of us was getting chopped up. I made some money in it and then lost some money in it. But there was a strategy that was working. 2 minute green takes red, and even that was choppy. Let me look at this real quick. 2 minute. I traded Amazon. I traded Amazon too this afternoon and made some money in it and some other stuff. So green takes red. Green takes red. Here, maybe made money here, maybe lost. Same thing here. Depends on how quickly you sold. So this was even choppy. Red bar. You probably lost here. See, it broke. Depending on how much you front ran. Green takes red. Green takes red. And really, when you're down here and you notice a green takes red, like failed or really didn't go, it's kind of a warning sign to leave it alone. But here you go. Here's another one. And these are really the only trades I did in Tesla. And I called it out on the mic. I was like, I'm just waiting for the next green takes red, guys. I missed a lot of small ones. But then you just sit there and you scalp. You don't take big wins or losses. And then you get something like this. Boom. I wasn't here then, I don't think. Or my kids were crying. But yeah. So if there's something specifically that you want to talk about the choppiness, but just generally speaking, it was just a choppy day. The important thing is to identify that early in the day. And then once you can identify that, be like, okay, I'm going to trade a certain way. Like I'm going to stop trading. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that, to change what you're doing and to use your OODA loop, to use the room. Stuff isn't working. Maybe I walk away like I talked about earlier in the video. Maybe I only take 2 minute green take reds. Maybe I change the name. Maybe I trade common. So when it comes to today's choppiness, it sucked. I'm not going to spend the video going over trades. Maybe next choppy day I'll do that. Actually, if I notice it's choppy, I'll make sure I'm recording and we can review some trades and how I trade a choppy day to help people. I'm definitely down with that. But it's just like a fact of realization that, you know what, it's choppy and I need to size down. I need to not take big wins or losses. And I just need to find a strategy or a system that's working. Maybe only trade it off of a moving average. Maybe only trade a 2-minute chart. Um, Maybe not trade big names and wait for some news flow from the T3 room. That's my general opinion on today. I didn't think today was horrible. It was choppy. So you had to take the quick money. You weren't holding runners for the most part. And that was kind of my thoughts on the day. I thought there were ways to make money. I mean, AMD was good later in the day. Not early, but later in the day, I thought once it got above the first like 2-minute high, if you look at this chart, so the first like right in here, once it broke out here, and this was good. I think this was good. I made some money in here. I think there was some other names that were decent. I think there was some short plays, like there's NVIDIA in here. I wasn't here a lot during the day, but I had some stuff to do and the boys weren't feeling good. But I think some people made money. I think there were some news flow call outs that were decent. So it's just identifying that it's choppy and then saying that in your mind, because the worst thing you can do as a scalper is to trade how you do on a good day on a bad day, because you're going to get wrecked. So you look at it, you identify within the first 10 minutes or so, like, okay, this is choppy, breakouts aren't working, this isn't working, size down. All right, I'm sized down. All right, now what do I do? I'm going to change how I trade. I'm going to identify what I'm doing that's working, what I'm identifying that's not working. Guys on the mic, what's working, what's not working. We're going to tell you if something's working. Chat room, news flow. And if people are like, this crap market, nothing's working. Oh, this, and so that's my advice. Bandit about the day. If I was thinking about it, if I was talking about it, that would be my thoughts on today. Just a choppy day. If you can identify that early, you'll save your day. Be okay with, hey, it's going to be a small day. In your head, maybe it's big, maybe it's small, but I'm just going to be small. I'm going to trade safe. I'm going to catch a few good trades and quit, log out, get green and log out, or something to that nature is how I handled today and how I handle choppy days, honestly. I hope that's I see you're typing, but I hope that's kind of helpful. If you have something specific, definitely. Yeah, Jess, that's another reason. Jess is saying that another reason he moves money out of an account to another one is so you can never blow up and lose it, and I agree. And so, like, if you made a 6-figure month and you're like crazy happy, you don't want to give that back. So if you move your account back down to that 50 grand and you just took 100 grand out, well, now you have 2-3 times your account somewhere else. Okay, good, awesome, and glad that kind of helped. And I agree, that's a way to stop yourself from tilting after big green days, and especially after big green days. Yeah, I personally like to take money out of my account just so I'm not chasing a higher P&L in my account. And that's just weird, but that's the way I do it, and I think other people here do it that way too. Yeah, Matt, sometimes not. Yeah, I did the same. I traded Amazon well later in the day. I thought it was nice. And if there are days when you make money early, I'm thinking here, I noticed that Amazon was bouncing on VWAP, and when it did that, I was trading it, and then it was going between the 200 and VWAP on the 1 minute, I think. Yeah, when it was down here and then hit VWAP and bounce, I'm like, I bet it's going back to the 200, so I played it, and then it failed the 200. I played it back to the VWAP, and then I think my kids were up and something around here. Yeah, and then I didn't really trade much. I missed that. So, oh, good. I'm glad you made with my call outs and stuff. Yeah, when I was trading, I think Tesla or Amazon, I was talking about it. Yeah, I made money then. Amazon, yeah, that was a good. That was in this range here, I think, when I did that. But so then, and part of that is just identifying early, like I said earlier, but being able to do that on to Matt to stop yourself from going down early is not sizing early, maybe not trading that much early. And if you're an aggressive early trader, here's what you're gonna know is you're gonna know that you're either gonna be up big early, and I'm an aggressive early trader, so you're gonna be up big, or you're gonna be down sizably, and then you're gonna have to trade smart, and you just accept that. And for me, when I decide to trade aggressive early, I pretty much know it's like, hey, it's either gonna be good or bad early. And I don't say that to like I let trades go against me. I try to get out of them, but I just know that, you know, for me, I can be down 5+ grand in a minute or two, and I'm cool with that. It doesn't bother me, and I just accept that, and then I just work my way back slowly. I size down, work my way back if I lose early, and then I pretty much get off, or I still trade small and just try to get up a little bit. Um, and make good trades, kind of depending on how the day sets up. And I just accept that, Matt. So if you're gonna trade early, just accept it, and that it can go either way, or find out what you're doing wrong. Like I don't know what you're doing wrong, but you know, find out why you're losing. If it's just choppy and you were holding too long, like I don't know what it is. Yo, great job, Con. You had a very green day. That's awesome. I'm excited for you. That's great. It's good. It's great to see people that have big green days and that can trade like that. That's awesome. I love green days. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I think tomorrow will be better than today, hopefully. Yeah, I can do a show about that, Matt, about trading the open. I'll do one of the next ones about that. Maybe even record my screen and talk through it. Maybe tomorrow, and do it Wednesday, or do it Wednesday and talk about it Wednesday. About how I identify the market in the first 30 minutes, an hour, and I'll just record my screen, and then I'll just go back over it here. AMD, baby, yep. 2-minute AMD, yep. I wish I would have noticed AMD earlier. I didn't notice it till it was too late. I made some money in it, but not until it was late. See, that's what it's all about. Yo, you didn't let us know that AMD was popping? You were like talking in another room. You didn't let us know that, hey guys, AMD Mark 1 and Green Takes Red are working? Trying to hog all the AMD money to yourself? Shame on you, Con. Shame on you. I'm disappointed. Very disappointed. You could have made me more money. But seriously, I mean, joking, but you know, joking, but serious aside, if you guys are in here and something's working, be like, hey, this is working for me and this name. Helps people. I check it, not always right away, but yo, when I see stuff like that's working, I'm taking it. And I do stuff and I test it. I didn't notice AMD till it was too late, honestly. It was my mistake. It's part of not detaching and some other things. I think I just wasn't. I was just like, whatever. But yeah, hey, good job today, guys. Great job, Con. And um, you know, if you traded great today and you made money, good job. If you had a red day, that's all right. Learn from it. You know, as a trader, you're going to be doing this for a long time. It's not all about one day in either direction, no matter how big it is. No one day should ever define you. It can change you, but don't let it define you. You know, learn from it and adapt and grow from it. I think there was a lot of good stuff today. I think we can still learn. We can still grow. We can still get better. We'll work together. We'll come back tomorrow. Hopefully it's a really good day. Hopefully I get some sleep tonight and my boy does not wake up every hour or so. Otherwise I will be taking it easy tomorrow no matter what the market does. But thanks for coming and hanging out, guys. I'll hang out for a little bit if you have other questions. I hope this did help you kind of get an idea of some of the stuff I did and that I do to stay mentally tough as a day trader full time. This is the only job I have. So I hope this helped. If you have other questions, you can leave them in the comments. You know, you can hit me up in Discord, and if you're on YouTube, I'll post the link to the Discord in the chat. You know, like this video, guys, share it. If I see more people watching the videos, I know things to do, things to say. You can always leave comments on the YouTube videos, and you know, hey, I'd like to see this, I'd like to see this. Share them with your family, your friends. If you know there are people you know that want to get into trading, send them here. It's a good way to learn the market, to learn the strategies. And like I said, I'll be posting some stuff soon, guys. Going over strategies and going over live trades that I do and stuff like that, just to help people adapt and get better at it, at least what I do, and then you can adapt it, you can do it yourself better than me, because you know, we're all just here to learn and to grow. So thanks for spending time with me tonight. Again, like, share, subscribe if you get a chance. I'll be hanging out in Discord for a little bit, but I will see you guys tomorrow, and you know, let's keep at it. Talk to you later. Have a good evening, everyone.